From Fox 8 Sports, this is the Overtime Podcast.
From the Fox 8 studios in New Orleans is the Fox 8 Overtime Podcast. I'm Vasilios. That is Sean Fazan. Remember to like, subscribe, rate, and review. You can find us wherever you listen to and watch your podcast. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that little bell notification button there. You get notified whenever we upload a new podcast. Sean Fazan, today was day 2 of Saints training camp. And so how was it out there today? Just general sense.
Well, it was hot out there today, and the heat played a role in a few things today. Like Sil said, be sure to subscribe if you're on our YouTube channel right now, the Fox 8 Overtime YouTube podcast page. Like, share, rate, review. Keep these podcasts coming. Practice number 2. Few things in a general big picture sense jumped out. It was hot. There was no cloud cover out there today. We were out there watching the hour and 45-minute practice, so it was about 15 minutes longer than the practice they had yesterday. Tomorrow will be a few minutes longer than the one they had today. Once again, all jerseys, no shells, no pads, similar to an OTA practice. Now, I don't know if you want to call this bad news, but not as good of news. We raved about perfect attendance on Wednesday, practice 1. Well, on Thursday, that perfect attendance has been wrecked because Trevor Penning, second-year left tackle, did not practice with what Dennis Allen described as a minor foot injury. Said it's not the injury or not the same foot. They already had the surgery on last year, and it was minor, and it was more of a precautionary thing. Let's hope so. Let's hope so, because it's been a frustrating run of injuries for Trevor Penning, a guy they're counting on to be the team's starting left tackle, or at least he's in competition to be the starting left tackle. He was drafted to be the starting left tackle. So hopefully this is minor and he's back on the field so we can get to what we talked about, development and getting better as opposed to getting healthy. So that was, look, it's par for the course around this time of year, and obviously training camp is training camp. Injuries are going to happen. We described this yesterday. Yeah. But still, all 89 other guys were there. However, I mentioned the heat. The heat took its toll on a couple of players. Kalen Saunders left early because of an illness. I'm not sure if that was a heat-related illness or whatever. Maybe just, I don't even want to speculate. He just said illness. And then Keith Kirkwood and Shaq Davis both left due to the heat. It's hot out there. It's really hot. It's nothing to play around with. The first couple of days, Dennis Allen said he felt like it was best to get outdoors. They did so. Most of the guys handled it pretty well. A couple of guys needed to go into that cool zone, and they could not finish practice. Is what it is, man. It's late July in southeast Louisiana, and we haven't gotten much rain. Normally around this time we would get some rain in the afternoon to cool us off. That just hasn't happened. At least it didn't happen around here today. I know some parts of the area got a little bit of rain today.
Little scattered showers.
Didn't get the pop-up. So that's one aspect of the big picture thing. The other thing is the competitions at certain positions are being taken very seriously, and there was a distinct rotation at every single position where there is a legitimate competition. For example, at the second cornerback spot opposite of Marshawn Lattimore, Paulson Adeba was the guy yesterday. Today, it was Alante Taylor. At defensive end, we told you yesterday it was Carl Granderson. Well, today it was Peyton Turner. At kicker, yesterday it was Will Lutz. Today it was Blake. Is it Group or Group A? I'm not sure exactly.
I heard Jeff Duncan yesterday say it was Groupie.
Groupie. And he hit all of his kicks today. And then at left tackle, obviously with pinning out, Hurst took all the reps at left tackle. So there is a rotation. They are looking at these guys at all these positions. It's certainly it's what you want this time of camp. Hopefully it motivates these guys. But big picture, those were the things that really stood out. The heat, the one injury, so the imperfect attendance, and there's a real rotation happening at the biggest position competitions on the roster.
Yeah, so we talked about the macro. Let's talk about more of the micro now. Let's go to, we'll start with defense this time around. Was there anything that stood out to you really on the defensive side of the ball?
Oh, yeah.
Any individual?
It was the defense's day.
Oh, yeah.
Defense. It was the defense's day. I just felt like the ebb and the flow of practice. We'll get to the offense a little bit later. I just felt like the defense made a few more plays. Derek Carr mentioned this Wednesday when he said he's got to be so sharp going against this defense because there are no layups. And I think you saw that today. There were a couple throws that were on the money, but they were just great coverage. Andrew Dowell, linebacker.
Training camp hero.
Had another play today, another punch out. This time it was to Kendre Miller, the rookie. Caught a little pass in 7-on-7, tried to tuck it in. And when he did so, Andrew Dowell was there to punch it out and recover the fumble. That's important. Keep that in mind. I mean, if you're emphasizing takeaways, the guy that keeps taking the ball away is going to get noticed.
If you have a nose for the ball, it's always going to happen.
That's it. Alante Taylor on a deep route by Chris Olave. Derek Carr throwing it in the first team session. Blanket coverage. Had a, I don't know if you call it a pass breakup, but he was in great coverage and disrupted the pass, incomplete pass. Marshawn Lattimore, an absolute beauty of a throw from Derek Carr to Michael Thomas on a slot fade. Thomas catches it, and as he's bringing it down, Lattimore, being the veteran that he is, as he's going to tuck it, that kind of tuck the ball in. He's there to strip it, knock it away, and it definitely was a no catch. So Lattimore had the slot fade PBU as well. Troy Pride in the second team, first team period, the second team with Jameis Winston. He got beat by Rashid Shaheed. He got beat by him, but ball was a little underthrown. He was able to kind of make up the ground and knock the ball away. There was a discrepancy on whether or not it was a PI. It's training camp. It was underthrown. I'm giving it to the kid. I'm giving it to the DB. He made a nice play on the ball.
They're both pretty fast. I know Shaheed and Pride.
Yeah, absolutely. And then to close out practice on the final team period, the third team, Jake Hayner, who had a nice little rhythm on a couple of passes before, he drops back to pass, and as he's about to make the throw, Smoke Monday, I don't know if he swiped the ball or if he kind of just brushed him as he was about to throw it, or if the ball just slipped out of Hayner's hands and Monday was there to kind of just be around and just kind of disrupt the flow of the play. Regardless, he celebrated like he made a play. So Smoke Monday, it would have been a fumble. I didn't see who recovered it. So Smoke Monday made a play. So defensively, I thought it was an all-around nice afternoon when it came to just being very active, being around the football, finishing plays, and making plays. And you want this ebb and flow, offense, defense, offense. I thought today, practice number 2, the defense got the best of the offense.
All right, it was the defense's day, but where does that leave the offense? What did anybody there stand out in terms of performance?
Well, they had some very close calls that could have been great plays. Again, this is a game of inches, and I like that. I like that they're already kind of in the details of, hey, this play wins it, this play loses it. This play, you make a play by doing this, or you don't make a play. The inches are there. You have to highlight the inches. Chris Olave had a kind of a square in during 7-on-7. It looked like more of a drop from him, from Derek Carr. It was a really good throw. Derek Carr threw another beauty during 7-on-7 to Jimmy Graham on I couldn't tell if it was a 7 route or an over route. It kind of ended up in the same spot. It's there. Graham's trying to make the catch. You hate to be this guy that maybe in 5 or 6 years ago he makes that catch, but ball kind of hit his hands. It was his arms were outstretched, but that's a catch he's made many times before. Wasn't able to reel it in at practice today, but there were a few bright spots. I mentioned Rashid Shaheed. He was wide open on that play. Check for him, but he also had 3 receptions today. Had a little comeback on a play-action bootleg play. Derek Carr rolls to his right, kind of gets his reads where it's 1, 2, and 3, and Shaheed's coming back. He caught another couple of passes, another one from Carr on a cross, another one from Jameis Winston kind of on just a quick out, kind of flat. But there you go. We talked about Rashid Shaheed being more than just that 9 route / return guy. He's a guy that can go all 3 levels. And think about it. That comeback's the second level. That crosser and that flat are the first level. So I thought overall And I think overall these first 2 days, he's had a nice little start to training camp. Unsurprising given his skill set, given where he's at in his career, and given that he's still hungry to prove. Doesn't shock me at all. And given that the coaches like him and the players seem to trust him, that he's had a good start to camp. Top offensive play. I don't want to just dump all over the offense here because it wasn't like they were terrible today. Actually, I'm going to go with it was a Jameis Winston throw to Foster Moreau. Ran a little slot fade, and Winston was able to drop it in nicely. Moreau was able to kind of get between the backer and the safety, come down with the catch. Derek Carr was there to greet him when he got back. So I thought overall, offense made some plays, and that to me was the best overall play of the day. There were a couple. There was a screen pass earlier. There was a little swing pass to Alvin. He made a little move on the sideline. It's so hard to tell and play like that. I think he would have broken a tackle in a game and had a nice gain. But they kind of blow the play dead after that. So it was a little harder to really get a gauge on that. But overall, hour and 45 minutes. They're still part of the ramp up. They're going to go 2 hours tomorrow. Decent practice. Dennis Allen liked it. And I think overall, you're just moving right along here in the Saints training camp 2023. And tomorrow, a little longer, put the shells on. Which feel a little more like football. I'm still waiting for the pads, but it'll feel a little more like football. But
first day for fans tomorrow, too.
First day for fans. That'll give us a little juice. It's always fun to see. I heard it's already sold out. So
yeah, all of them.
I'm not exactly sure how many people can fit in those grandstands there, but I'm just ballparking it here at 2,500, 3,000.
Maybe.
It'll be hot out there. They got covered seating at least.
Yeah.
So that'll help, but still bring your sunscreen and bring you your water as well.
You're going to be out there tomorrow.
Oh, I'll be out there tomorrow. I'll be out there tomorrow.
I'll also be out there tomorrow. I've decided to come out.
You coming out there tomorrow?
Coming out there tomorrow.
Okay. You're going to be with us, or you're going to be in the stands?
I'm going to be with y'all.
Okay, great.
So we'll definitely have some back and forth tomorrow as well. But any last things to expect from the Saints tomorrow? What can fans expect from the Saints tomorrow?
Well, I think it's going to be a little longer practice. You'll see them in shells. If it's 2 hours, and today they added a 7-on-7 period, I hope they add another team period. That would be great to get 3 team periods into 7-on-7. And if I'm a fan, pay attention to the rotation at cornerback, defensive end, left tackle, and kicker, because I think it's going to be steady every single day at those positions, and we'll get a clearer idea of what the coaches are seeing, and somebody just make a play. Go out there and make a play. All these players out there, you have the opportunity. Just go out there and make plays. But I will say it's been a good vibe. It's been a good energy, been a good vibe, and a really good start to Saints Training Camp 2023.
Excellent. All right, guys. Well, you heard it here. This is day 2 of Saints Training Camp in the books. We'll be back next time with another day of training camp soon to be put in the books. For Sean Fazan, I'm Vasilios. Remember to like, subscribe, rate, and review. This has been the Fox 8 Overtime Podcast. See you guys next time.